You want to learn how to grow walnuts? Really? Now what you see behind me here is a small walnut tree. Now walnuts are native to the Balkans, so they like it reasonably sort of warm, you know, that north sort of Mediterranean region. They get about 10 metres tall, some of them can get a bit bigger than that, and they have a very nice and flavoursome nut, and they're a great nut crop for the temperate climates, great for forest gardens, agroforestry type projects, and these would be the top canopy nut crop. Now, you know, the thing that I really like about walnuts is they're quite a beautiful tree, but there are some particulars you might want to know. For instance, here I'm on top of a hill and it's quite exposed. This small walnut tree hasn't done amazingly well. It sort of died off at the top and now coming back from the bottom. But to the side of me here, there is a huge walnut tree that's been here for years, and that is about 10 meters tall. But what I've noticed is, if you go down into the valley, into the town there's another walnut tree in someone's garden, and every year I walk past that walnut tree and it's full of huge walnuts. Whereas my tree, the fruit sort of swell, well, the squirrel gets most of them, but they never quite get to their full potential. So something you might want to think about, you know, they are native to the Balkans, they do like a little bit of water. So, you know, I would say you don't necessarily need a microclimate for these, but very exposed sites, you might want to have a little look at that and do your research and get a type that is not going to be so detrimental to harsh winds. Now, this particular walnut tree that I grew here, I bought as a small plant, and I've grown it on, and it just doesn't really like the position it's in. One thing I will say about walnuts is where you plant them, some plants will not grow around walnuts, because walnuts have this ability to release certain chemicals into the ground that just certain things won't grow around them, and it's just a way of them outcompeting other trees in their native forest. So something you want to think about. I've grown comfrey around the base of this, even hops around the base of this, but some things I've tried to grow just won't grow. So might be something you're looking into if you're thinking about growing walnuts. But in a temperate climate, en masse, you could grow these in an orchard type fashion, and you could grow them purely for the nut crop. If you're going to do that, you know, you really need to plant these trees about 10 meters apart. Now, what I've noticed about walnuts is, and this walnut tree especially, is it doesn't really start to leaf out until May, when everything else is sort of leafing out. This mid-May, this thing's still not quite leafed out properly. So something you might want to think about there as well, in terms of greenery for your garden. And let me point out, if you're going to grow one of these in a garden, you know, you need space. You know, they're quite a big tree. You can get some dwarf varieties, but they're still a big tree. So something for you to think about. This is what I would say is better for a larger based system, but it's completely up to you. You can do your own research and make the decision for yourself. Now, they need full sun, and preferably, you know, if you want the best nut crops, try and position them on a south facing hill. The soil also, they like fertile and well drained soil. Preferably you're going to have a soil that's, you know, quite deep, 5 foot deep, before they hit any sort of bedrock, and that should ensure the tree get a good hold and become quite a healthy specimen, and hence getting quite a few nuts out of the tree as well. Now, the trees do have male and female parts, so, you know, sometimes it's said, you know, it's best to get 2 different types if you're going to grow this tree, so you can have successful cross-pollination. Now, in winter time, it is good, like other fruit trees, to prune out and to try and add some air to the canopy, just so basically you can ensure that enough sun gets to the tree, and also in summertime make sure they get a good water in. They don't like to dry out, and if you follow them basic steps, your walnut tree should look its best, and not only that, you should get some great walnuts out of it as well. So there you have it, walnuts, a great one for temperate climates, a great nut crop, not a bad looking tree as well. Get out there and grow some!